The Selfish Podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and waters that this podcast is recorded on.
Everything that we discuss on the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph is for informational purposes only. It's either our own experiences, opinions and insights or our guests. It's not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice and should not be relied upon as health or personal advice. It's time to prioritise yourself and your well-being. Subscribe now and get ready to put yourself first with the Selfish Podcast.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to the next episode of the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph. Although Steph is down and out at the moment. She got back from her amazing whirlwind trip and has crashed. So we don't have Steph this morning. We just have me, Chloe. So I hope that I can entertain you for a little bit before we jump into our chat with the beautiful Tash, who is our nail correspondent. We are referring to her as. Super exciting. So I thought I would just have a little bit of a chit chat with you all about some things that have propped up for me over the past week. So the first thing that happened is last week on Tuesday, I went with my two little boys to collect our Christmas tree. So we each year for the past 5 years or more have gone and cut a Christmas tree down in order to have a real tree in our home. And this kind of stems from my husband, Adam. His family tradition is to do this. So we've kind of continued the tradition, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I have to say though, I don't know if any of you do this as well, but I think because I go by myself with my mother-in-law and I've got the two boys and, they're 3 and 5, so they're pretty boisterous, as a kind way to maybe put it. High energy maybe is the better way. And so the whole kind of ordeal of driving to the Christmas tree farm and then choosing a tree, cutting it down, I don't know, it seems like it's all fun and games, but I don't know, it's quite stressful. And I feed them sweets and stuff, which again is not ideal because then we have to drive back and they're going crazy in the back of the car. Thankfully, my mother-in-law takes the Christmas trees in her car, so we're not kind of battling with the tree and all, spiking the boys and whatnot. I would like to have the smell of the Christmas tree in the car because currently it smells like disgusting off food. But anyway, I don't know. I'm wondering if I'm sure some of you could relate that although it seems like this beautiful activity that you do as a tradition for your family, it can be quite intense at times. So that was the first part of the day. Then we get the tree home and, it's this whole ordeal for me anyway, to get the tree into my pot that I've got. So anyway, I get it into the pot successfully. It was a bit skew-iff, but, I've kind of come to realise that I need to shove things into the pot to help it stand up straight. And so get that all together. Then we start decorating the tree. Now, Adam isn't here to do it. We kind of can't wait. The boys don't want to wait. So we start decorating the tree as the three of us, which we did last year as well. And Raf is actually getting quite good at placing the ornaments and things like that. Anyway, we got some new beautiful ornaments. They were glass ornaments, a gorgeous mushroom. And as some of you would know, I had my first mushroom experience earlier this year. So they kind of had a bit of significance to me. Anyway, we placed them on. I looked up how you're meant to decorate a tree. Who knew that there's ways? You put lights on first, then you go your bigger ornaments and the ones that are special, you place them in, and then you do the medium and the small ones last, apparently. And then obviously the star or your tree topper. But yeah, so we're doing that. We're putting all the ornaments on. We get the tree complete. So the tree is then finished. Now, I've got a Kelpie. His name is Sunny, and he is a divine dog. He barks a lot, but that's, we'll give him grace for that because he probably should be on a farm. Anyway, but he's trapped in a suburban home with the beach just there. So, not that we get there that often. Anyway, that's beside the point. So Sunny has this weird kind of, I'm going to call it it's like a fetish. So, those, I've told this story to a few of my girlfriends, so excuse me that I'm telling it now on the podcast. But so with the tree, Sunny seems to have this fetish with kind of going under the tree so that the tree branches or the little prongs off the tree, they're not really leaves. What are they called? I don't know, the spiky bits. Shit, I need Steph here. So he kind of goes under the tree, and it's like one of those orgasmatrons, I call them, when the head massager that you put, you put down on your head and it goes over your head and it massages your head. That sensation. It's kind of quite an intense sensation. I wouldn't say it's like an orgasm for me, but you're kind of moving that orgasmatron on your head up and down, right? So I am guessing, I don't know exactly. I am getting to the point here. I know that I'm kind of going around in circles. So Sunny goes under the tree and he kind of massages himself under the tree with the spiky bits of the Christmas tree. And I imagine it's like that orgasmatron like we do on our heads. And so he kind of glazes over his eyes and he goes into this full trance kind of mode. Anyway, Sunny has done that to our tree, which when I put the tree in, I kind of did think maybe it was a little bit uneven and maybe not quite stable. So he has gone under the tree and then the tree has completely smashed over, all over the floor. Water's gone everywhere. My beautiful new mushroom ornaments shattered, all 4 of them, smashed all over the floor. And there'd be water maybe a centimetre at least, a good 2 by 2 meters in the corner of the room. My beautiful curtains were in the water under my – I'll put a picture up, but so you can kind of visualize it. But it was a fucking nightmare. There was shit everywhere. Raph is screaming because he somehow also really adored the new mushroom ornaments, and he is hysterically crying. I'm madly trying to mop up these floors because, we've only been in our house 12 months and they are timber flooring, but it's the hybrid kind of model. Anyway, you can't have water on them for too long because then it fucks the flooring. So I'm frantically trying to clean this up, plus the glass, keeping the kids out of this space. And it was so fucking stressful. I'm sorry for my swearing, but I'm just being transported back to last week. And it's just it actually happened last year, the year before as well. Sunny did the same thing and I'd forgotten about it. One of my girlfriends reminded me. And 2 years in a row now, he has smashed the tree down after it's been decorated, and I've got to clean up and then redecorate the tree with half my ornaments smashed. Nightmare. So anyway, I would love to hear if any of you have some of these kind of stressful moments around Christmas. I know you would all have them. Please send them to me so that I don't feel alone. And I will send you a picture. I'll put up a picture also of my redecorated tree. We've kind of gone disco theme, so it's all bright. But I love it. I love it. And anyway, it's beautiful. I'm looking over it now because I'm recording from home today, and I've got a dinosaur at the top. I've got some the boys choose an ornament each year from the Christmas tree shop. So we got a dinosaur and we got some ice creams with sparkles on it. And then Val chose a frog with wings. Anyway, I'll share them all with you. I hope you get a giggle, but yeah. The tree's back up, but that was my nightmare of a story from last week. The other thing that I wanted to chat with you about was I don't know how you feel about Black Friday sales, but they drive me insane. I got about probably 20 messages on my phone. I don't even know how these companies have my mobile phone, probably because I've bought from them before, but I don't wish to receive text messages from these companies telling me about things that are on sale. I already know my Instagram feed is bloody full of all of these sales, and it kind of makes me quite anxious that I need to buy. And I thankfully had made a list for the kids of what they, were after for Christmas, and sat down on Friday night, and I did manage to kind of get some good goodies on sale, but the lead up, and then I was like, Black Friday's done now, great, awesome. But then they've got the freaking Cyber Monday. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's just way too much sometimes. I just want to hide in my room and rock in the corner away from all of this
bombardment of marketing material. Anyway, it's all done now and that's all good. So I did manage to do okay, didn't spend too much money. I'm hoping that you guys all escaped as well without, kind of getting sucked in. What did I buy? I'm trying to think. Oh, I did buy. I've got the best leggings that I love for Pilates. They're Aimn, AIMN, and I managed to get some of their they're amazing leggings. I've seriously had them for 2 years and they do not change shape at all and wash so well. And when when you do a squat or something, it doesn't get see-through. Anyway, I got some of their leggings for $20. I was winning. So that was exciting. But let me give you a little bit of an update on what's going on astrologically. We've just come out of the full moon. So when this episode drops, we will still kind of be in the shadow kind of period of the full moon. So you can still kind of tap into some of the energies if you work with it on the Wednesday morning, because here in Australia, the full moon was on Monday night. So that we did talk about it last week, but it was in Gemini, and just to kind of it was, I don't know if you felt it, but I felt like the energy has been quite heightened. Gemini is an air sign, so a bit jittery, a bit chaotic, but it also can be obviously excitable kind of energy as well. And there is this kind of enthusiasm kind of piece that is in there as well. So I think I may have said this last week. I don't know if you've all got your natal charts, but have a look where Gemini falls in your natal chart, and that will give you an idea of the themes that you may have felt come up over the course of the full moon. And just maybe have a think about what have you been learning about in that part of your life, or are there any ideas that you are excited to share and explore more of? I'm trying to think where mine is in my chart. I think mine's in the 12th house. It's kind of deep spiritual, psychic, kind of intuitive stuff that's come up for me. So in your natal chart, you have 12 houses, and then a sign is in a sign will be with each of the houses. So you can kind of always look up and see where the sign is placed in what house, and then there'll be a theme that kind of comes up around that. So it's really cool to have a look at and dive into if you've got your natal chart. Make sure if you're looking it up, I use astro.com, that you've got to change it to a whole sign placement as well, so it doesn't come up so all of the lines are all weird and shaped differently. But perhaps maybe I might be able to do another episode chatting a little bit more about that in detail if that excites you. Other than that, there's not too much going on this week. The energy itself continues to be quite, kind of quite heady, a bit jittery, as I said. What we can do to help us with that kind of energy is really be present in life. So this will be your medicine to help with that kind of up heady energy. We want it to ground it down into the earth. So
really focusing on being present this week. And there's also a spotlight on friendships that is going to be a bit of a theme moving into 2024 as well. So just kind of like, having a think about what kind of friendships bring you joy, and who do you like when you are in someone's energy, do you feel lit up by them and energized, or do you feel weighed down and a bit heavy in their presence and energy? Just take note of those people that you are around this week, and start to just have a think about how you feel after being in their presence. But that will be something that comes up more over the course of 2024, which we will share with you. So finally, I'm going to shuffle my cards here. I've got the Lucid Dreams Beginners Tarot deck. I think we may have used that. It's from Saint Salel. We may have used it last week as well. I can't remember exactly, but I'm just going to ask for guidance for the week ahead for us all and see what comes up. I usually fan my cards out and then beautiful. I think we've had wands a lot lately. So this week we have got the Queen of Wands. I'll show you in the video. Queen of Wands, beautiful. She's holding, she's got a cat, actually. She's got a beautiful adornment of jewelry. She's sitting on a throne. Anyway, it's all about confidence and independence. This is interesting, being the Gemini full moon. Social butterfly, out there, creative, self-assured, passionate, determination, charismatic, vivacious, and optimistic. So a really nice kind of way for us to step into this next week. I love this energy. Anyway, the Queen of Wands has a positive and an uplifting energy. This represents someone who's willing to be by your side and stand up for you. She's passionate, courageous, and individualistic. And in love, you can feel independent, cheerful, a confident lover, and have openness in your relationship. For your career, you might be looking forward with determination and passion at work, and inspiring or leading others. And with regard to your finances, making some strong financial decisions and having that confidence in making those financial decisions. So, you are held and guided, and how beautiful that the Queen of Wands is here to support you this week with your confidence and stepping into that with more vibrance and having that assurance that you can do those things, and you can do the hard things. I was actually just saying that to Steph before, when I was like, I'm not here, with you today. And I was like, it's okay. We can do hard things. So, and get uncomfortable, and it's okay. And then once we step through that comfort, on the other side of discomfort is often growth. So I love that for us. All right. Without further ado, with me chatting by myself, to myself, or to Sunny and my Christmas tree, I would love to introduce you to our beautiful Tash, who does mine and Steph's nails. We've both been seeing her since earlier this year. I got some girls from my work put me onto her, and I haven't looked back. And so I am excited to jump into the chat. It's just myself and Tash, which we recorded yesterday. So we hope you enjoy the show. Very excited to be here today. We've got a beautiful guest joining us, Tash. Tash has been doing mine and Steph's nails for how long? Maybe since May-ish?
Yeah, beginning of the year, I reckon.
Yeah, six-ish. No, longer than that.
Probably.
What month are we in?
I never know.
We are in December.
It's gone way too fast.
It's gone way too fast. But she is an absolute guru, and I've never had my nails done before, and I would never go to anyone else. So
no, you didn't when I was away. You were I'll just wait.
Stay. I'm like, hold it out. And they actually held up Great.
Yeah, I was quite surprised actually. A lot of people had really good retention, which was so exciting for me.
Because you're bloody great.
Yes,
So
well.
everyone comments on my nails. I'm like, yeah. Tash.
Sorry, you can't go.
So we'll put all of Tash's Instagram stuff in the show notes. But thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, it's just me and Tash. Poor old Steph has been taken out with some horrible sickness in the family. So you've just got the two of us having some coffees and in a new space. We're actually in my home today, which is
Very cute.
it's nice. So. Well, we've got a nice view out there of the ocean, and I'm hoping that the sound quality is going to be okay for everyone.
Hopefully I'm not yelling in here.
No, you sound great. Love your tone. It's so beautiful. Anyway, so we're going to get into it. We thought we'd bring Tash on and to chat about all things nails. She's kind of going to be our little nail correspondent and give us a bit of an update on nail care and trends, what we can expect for Christmas, New Year, and we'll talk about some other funny things along the way. So, Steph. This is going to be a thing. Tash, give us a bit of a rundown. How long have you been doing your wonderful nails for?
I did my training in 2019 and I was working in aged care and I was looking after a lovely lady and unfortunately it was her time to leave us and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. So I'd just been doing it for a bit of fun. And
amazing.
I'm a bit fussy, so I was like, if I do it myself, I've got no one to blame. And then,
What's your star sign, quickly?
I'm on the edge of Sagittarius and Capricorn.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really know.
Yeah, okay, we'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
I was thinking Virgo maybe because they're very fastidious about perfection.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I teeter on the very edge.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But, and I just was given an opportunity to start doing nails in a salon in Victor in the main street and then the rest is history.
Now you've gone out on your own. You've got a little, another little space now.
Yes.
Well, I never visited you in the other space, but
no,
it's really
I was in 3 spots in Victor actually, and then I moved.
You slutted yourself around there, didn't you?
Yep. I just had to find my feet, and I've definitely found it now. Being with the girls in Port Elliot.
Oh, it's so funny. When I go in there, I literally probably need to take a notebook because I swear I've got some of the stuff that we've talked about on the pod from you. One being the sweat, not going commando.
Yes.
When you, what are your thoughts on that?
Talking about that. Oh, I don't know.
I haven't done it.
I don't think I could.
I don't think it's for me.
I know someone that does, and it weirds me out.
Yeah, that whole story about the chlamydia just really. So I was like, not for me. Not for me.
No, thanks.
But no, it's so fun when I go in there and the girls are just hilarious. I just imagine you all just laughing pretty much
We have
all
a really
day,
good time.
every day.
Yeah.
Yep. Super fun.
So fun.
Super fun. So give us a bit of a rundown. What are the current trends? What are you seeing maybe moving into 2024? I'm so new to it that, for me, I really came in blind and just was led by you. Do you find that most people are like that or people? Yeah.
I think so. I think a lot of people do come into it with – some people come into it with an idea of what they want and they see what I do and they say, I really, really want to have what you do. And then other people go, oh, I'll just have a plain colour or I'll just have nude or, just keep it really neutral. And then all of a sudden they're getting all this artwork and they're saying to me, my news feed on Instagram is just full of all these nail pictures. Look what you've done to me. And I'm like, well, what can I say?
It's so fun.
It's so fun.
Really fun.
I love it.
Yeah. So what are you seeing? What are you seeing moving forward into 2024?
I think at the moment it's just really everyone's really into all the 3D stuff. So that's interesting. I love it, but I know that it's not for everyone. Some people have some sensory issues.
I feel like, I don't know.
it's just,
Well, you know me. You've changed me for one. So never say never.
No.
But at the moment,
not really.
I feel like it's globby. Like,
yeah, it can be, but I think there's definitely designs out there where it looks really, really nice.
Yeah.
At my Explore page is full of just everything like that at the moment, and it's so pretty.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, a lot of people have like they do like that really nice chrome powder on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
which I've had.
multicolour one.
Oh, multicolour.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I think we've done that on you over the orange, like what we did on the orange.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just on like a nude colour, and then they do some like metallic or chrome silver and some, like 3D, just like clear.
Okay.
It's really hard to explain, but if
we'll
you saw
put some photos up.
great.
We'll show some photos of what it looks like. Really I have been out when it was Steph's birthday and we went to 2KW in town. The waitress, so that was back in July or June, and I think I'd just gone the donut glaze, which was like a bit out there for me.
That was, it took me convincing.
It did, but then loved. But the waitress had the 3D on her nails.
Yep.
And I don't know, but my nails underneath are so disgusting, and you've told me before, said that mine are disgusting underneath, but you've told me about like things that get stuck under your nails.
Oh,
and
yeah,
how that
yeah.
it's like really revolting.
Yep.
And I just kind of thought with the 3D on the top, there's more chance of shit getting stuck on there. I don't know.
Not really, because it's not sticky.
No, of course.
Like it's not sticky. Nothing's going to get stuck on it. But it's raised. So there's nowhere for it to like sit under, like under your fingernails. Okay. There's a lot of room for
all right. So maybe that's not something I need to worry about, but
I'll convert you.
Yeah, maybe you will.
We'll see.
Is the glazed, is that staying in that kind of, or is that on the way in?
Yeah, everyone is all over that. It took me a little while to get onto that bandwagon actually, because I did have a chrome powder that wasn't doing it for me, and I can be a little bit tight when it comes to buying for my business.
Right?
So I'm just like, oh. Anyway, one of my clients actually bought me a powder because she wanted it so bad. And
what a darling.
it was so I was always thanking her whenever anyone wanted the glazed donut. I was like, you can thank her. And then I eventually bought some. And everyone is obsessed.
So there's different types. So there's like a silvery one.
You can get just a white one, which is like that glazed. You can get multicolours, like we've used the orangey one on you. We can get pink purple. You can get a little bit of everything.
I'm going to do the green next.
Yes.
Is that what's on top
There's
of that?
There's like a greeny yellow one that I'll use.
Yellow. Look out for my Christmas nails.
That'd be stunning.
I kind of thought like I've gone Christmas twice. I've gone red and now I'm going to go the green.
Yeah.
Awesome. Shape. I know I've asked for a square before and you were like, meh.
I don't mind square. I have square and I find that it's not bad. I love it. And it used to be my go-to.
Tell us the reason. I thought it was really great when you said the reason behind it, and especially because I was going a longer period of time with not having my nails done. So this is one thing I love about you. So tell everyone what you
I'm
told
not
me.
going to, if it's not going to last or be practical, then I'll tell you.
Yes.
And I think that's really important because there's a lot of people out there that just do it because that's what the customer wants. But I think if it's not going to be practical and it's not going to last your benefit, then, so square, quite often you can get lifting on the corners.
Yes.
And I did have another client who wanted square and I told her about this. She has a very hands-on job. And when she came back, after I got back, she didn't have any nails on. And she said, you told me and you were right. And so now we've gone back to almond, and that's definitely the go-to for
So explain, just because not everyone can see us, I'll show a picture of mine, but is mine almond?
Yours are almond,
so
yes.
Explain the shape.
Well, it's just there's no corners for anything to lift from. And
it's quite a natural looking shape,
it's a lot more natural looking as well, and that's why people love it.
What's the really, really pointed one?
Stellado.
Stiletto, yeah. I think that I'm either almond or a squarish.
Yeah, you can go like a squoval, like a square oval.
Okay.
Don't always love it.
Okay.
But that can be
That's
done
another
too.
option.
Yeah,
There's so many out there.
At the
There's
moment.
heaps of different
There's so many. Some of them are absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, I it popped up on my feed.
Yeah. As it does now.
As it does now, yeah. And there was like 20 different, and they've all got different names.
Yeah. There's like a lipstick one.
Wow.
I don't know why you would do that.
No.
It's just not practical.
No, it's not. No, mine just, yeah.
You want something that's going to last you. And
exactly.
otherwise there's no point in
Yeah.
spending that money.
So nail care, like for those who potentially don't get their nails done, but those who do, like maybe let's go for those who don't. Is there any things that we can do to?
I think just keeping them hydrated all the time is the most important thing.
And what do we use for that?
You can use moisturizer. Moisturizer is really great, but cuticle oil as well is really, really important. I have cuticle oil pens in the salon.
Yes.
And so no one has any excuses to not.
I haven't bought one yet.
You better buy one.
You haven't upsold me.
Sorry. I'm not very good at upselling.
No, we've talked about this plenty of times.
I'm not good at upselling. But I just, I think it's there and it's very helpful. It helps your nails not dry out. And honestly, people think that using oils and products and things like that can cause your nails to come off sooner. But honestly, keeping them hydrated will allow them to last
longer,
so much longer.
Wow.
And I've had a few clients who didn't use it and then have bought cuticle oil and they've noticed the difference in like when we talk about the lifting on the corners of square and things like that, that hydration can stop that from happening.
Holds it, adheres them. Yeah, I actually, when I'm of a night time, when I put my night cream on, then I have the residue. I always now kind of rub it onto my fingers and just massage it. So I think maybe that actually is helping to keep.
Yeah, I think anything, it doesn't have to be, anything that's got hydration in it is going to be good.
Yeah.
But for the cuticle oil pens are great because you can chuck them in your bag, put it on wherever.
Just do a little.
Yeah.
And they do make them look really nice.
But my friend and I were on the way to a baby shower and she was like, I'm just going to oil my cuticles. And I was like, oh, can I borrow some of that? So we're sitting in the back of the car just oiling our cuticles on the way. It's so handy. You can't. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that it does help. And does it also help? So before, I don't get it now that I have my nails done, and maybe that's because you chip around them, not chip. That's not the right word. You clip.
Yes.
You clip around.
Yes. Yeah.
But you know that pulling down the side, does that help with the?
Yeah, if you're hydrating, it's going to stop things like that happening. It's going to stop
drying out,
all the drying out, which then I've got a few people that are pickers and things like that, and it's great. I love it. I don't use it enough. I should use it more. Whenever I use it, I'm like, why don't I use this more? I need to listen to myself.
Oh, totally. Yeah. We never do. No. That's one thing that,
I have two on my bedside table and I don't use them that often. So don't listen to me, but just do what I say.
That's right. All right. Well, I will. I'll get it next time I'm in. So I came to you because I was a nail biter. Mm-hmm. Is that common? You get lots.
I've got lots of people that have come to me wanting to grow their nails, and that was one thing that I really wanted to focus on when I first started because I'm a nail biter and I still do it now sometimes, but not nearly as bad. My left hand looks fabulous. My right hand doesn't look as great, but that's also because I do everything with my right hand. Yeah. But I'd say maybe 70-80% of my clients have their natural nails.
Yes, and that is amazing.
I think it's so good. And I think
so what's the other thing? Acrylic?
Gel extensions. So they're made from the same product, which is the gel that I use on your natural nails.
Oh.
And they're a lot more flexible. So, when you have them and you're doing things and you knock your nails or whatever, they have that flexibility. So they're going to move with any natural movement, whereas acrylic and SNS are very hard products, and a lot of the time if you bang them they just
can
crack
snap
or come off and cause a lot of damage to your natural nails. It's not a terrible product, but there's, you just want to find someone that uses good quality acrylic and SNS, because there's a lot of people out there that just use cheap stuff. And
so how would you
notice.
know? How would you know if someone is using good quality stuff?
The smell is a big thing when you're taking it off.
Yes.
And also the consistency.
Because actually yours, there is no smell.
No, and that's why I love it. There's minimal smell.
But I've been into other nail salons and it's that hits you in the face with that disgusting, like very...
It's very strong. Like alcohol.
Yeah.
I would have a headache if I...
Wow. So is that is to do with the products that they use?
Yes, those acrylic products, you have to use a liquid with the powder. And like I said, there's definitely good acrylic out there. And I have one of my nail tech friends, she uses acrylic and she's great. I've had her do my nails and it's fabulous. But, your chain salons and things like that are not going to give you quality products. They're just going to push you in and out.
I can't even go into them now. And I found even getting my toenails done recently, like it just chips like the second after you leave pretty much. Or like I came home, I got a pedicure done, came home, I put my slippers on like 6 hours later and there was an imprint of my slipper on like the nail.
Did you have gel or regular varnish?
I think it was just normal.
Oh, yeah.
Was that what?
That's probably why.
Okay.
I used to offer regular nail varnish when I first started out because at the time, you're starting and you want everyone to come to you. You want every man and their dog to come to you for nails. And so I offered everything. Yeah. Not acrylic, but just all those things. And quickly I was like, I'm not doing this because I had a lot of people come and they, I would do it and you just have to sit there.
Yeah, and wait. I know.
And it's time consuming for me. It's time consuming for them. And then even when they leave, you think it's dry and you touch something and it's not. And then you're just like, well.
And then you've got to redo it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's just not, I was like, I'm not doing that.
I was actually really astounded. So I think this is a nice kind of segue. Like how, you just put your fingers under the light and then it's like hard, so good. And you could just walk out after you're finished.
It's great.
But I have been thinking about, so when you're sitting in the nail chair, right? So your hands are on, and you've got some really funny reels and stuff about where you put your hands. Maybe we could share those too.
I feel like I'm a bit passive aggressive. I don't mean to be.
No, I think it's funny, but maybe some people get offended, but I don't. I think it's funny. And I learned from it too. I was like, oh, okay, so that's how I need to like kind of like let my hands go limp. Yeah. And like so that you could do what you need.
Yes. I wouldn't say like it's not a confrontation, but I'm not good at telling someone because I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. So even though it's something I need to help me, I feel really bad. So I feel like posting reels and things is a really great way for people to just see like this would be really, really helpful. And there's some out there that I see that are a little bit harsh and I don't post those because I think that's a little bit blunt.
Yeah, right.
I try and pick the nice ones where it's just gently saying, just relax your hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't move.
Don't move.
Don't move.
So you're not like we just were chatting about this before and I was like, when you go to the hairdresser and they're like, okay, uncross your legs and then, lift your chin up or like put your chin down. And you're like, and you're moving your head around. I was kind of thinking about that too. And but you need to.
It is. Yeah. It's so
There's
hard.
etiquette.
I think that's my way of just telling people to don't move. Just don't move.
Don't move.
I just want to sometimes just yell. Yes. But I don't, obviously.
No, very kind.
And I think just don't move.
So what about I know that last time I got my phone out and I was maybe like texting or something between whilst you were doing one hand. Then part of it, excuse me. Is that not good?
It's not great.
No. Okay.
It's
note to self, Chloe.
It's really hard because I don't want to be. I think I'm terrible when it comes to using my phone, and I always feel terrible when I'm doing nails. I use my phone, but I just can't help it. I mean, I'm working and I'm working at
Yes.
the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I do feel bad. But I think when I'm trying to paint.
Yes, as a client,
And
you need to just
it's
especially if you're doing the like intricate, like Tash does the most
Absolutely.
amazing nail art, and I imagine if someone is like moving around, then you could.
It's not,
It's not.
And I think people move more than they realize too.
Yes.
Like you think you're not moving and you're moving.
Yeah.
I was teaching Aurora to do my nails so she could do them for me.
Yes.
And one night she was doing them and she said to me, "You're a terrible client." And I said, "Why?" And she's like, "You're just moving." And I think I'm not moving. I even do it. Like I
Yes.
think I'm using my phone. I'm just being really like
Yeah.
trying to be like really slow. And it's not, you're not being slow.
No, you can still feel the
You're still moving.
reverberation on the other hand. Like,
So just
okay.
don't move.
Don't
when I'm filing and prepping, it's okay.
Yes.
When I've got the polish out, don't move.
No movement. Right. Understood. Loud and clear. Thank you.
I feel like I need to have a little thing on the wall that says don't move.
Maybe.
Even just moving your head,
Wow. Yeah.
like
Yes.
tiny things. Like someone will have their hands out like this and they'll go like this. You
Yeah.
can see how my hands move.
Yeah, true.
And if I'm right in the middle of painting a really fine line
Yes.
or a French tip, which
Yes.
is very tedious.
Yeah. Because you do them all, you don't stick anything on the nail, do you,
No.
for those? You actually
No.
just hand paint.
I forced myself to learn to I used to
Wow.
hate it. I dreaded it.
Yeah, okay.
And now I love it.
Right.
Yep.
I got the silver, metallic
Yes.
silver.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
beautiful.
So
yeah,
pretty.
you just really like was gorgeous. It kind of didn't, it looked like you had used something to kind
Yes.
of make it like that. But
Yes, I've been told I have a very steady hand. I feel like I lost my steady hand when I went to New Zealand. I came back and I was like, I can't do this.
What's
It's
wrong
fine
with
now,
me?
but just having that break.
Yeah,
I
just
was
having
like,
a
wow.
little break.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You mentioned to me when I decided, because I was like, oh, I was going to get green, then I would change to red. And that was probably pretty annoying for you. But you did mention that red is quite a like funny colour in that
It's not forgiving.
It's not forgiving.
There's a few colours that are not forgiving. So you have black, red and white. I find for me, they're not forgiving colours.
Right.
So again, if I'm painting
Yes,
and you're
the
moving
movement is
and if some of it gets up, I try really hard to get up close to the cuticle. I use my
Yes.
little fine line brush and when sometimes people move and they don't realise and any of these three colours gets up there, it's really hard to get rid of it.
yeah.
I can wipe it away, but red and black are they just don't.
They don't
come
budge.
I can wipe it away and you'll still have a tiny red little stain on your cuticle, even if I take it away straight away. So another thing, that's why I just say don't move because it's not even, just whenever I'm painting anything, whether it's just the builder gel, colour, art, top coat, don't move.
That's actually interesting. Yeah. So my nails are my natural nails underneath, and they feel like quite thick. So if I was to get these removed, what would my nail one look like underneath? And or what do you do to do this?
I would to take it off.
Well, just use the builder gel. What's that?
Well, I take all the colour off that we've previously done.
Yes.
And then I smooth out any of the builder gel that's still there because we want to leave a little bit of it there because that's the whole point of.
So that is like a protective layer, is it?
Yeah. So I know
over the
that when
nail?
I'm, it's protecting your natural nail and it's helping it. It's not anything in the product that helps it grow, but it's because it's an extra layer.
Yeah.
It's a thicker layer. So your nail's not thin like it would be without anything on it. So it's less likely to break and chip. Sometimes it just happens anyway. You can't always avoid it. But I just smooth out any excess product that's there, blend it in with the natural nail and then tidy up your cuticle area, get rid of all that dead cuticle skin, trim what I need to and then prep it and reapply, ready for
Amazing.
some new colour.
So cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Because the other thing, when I've had SNS before, I feel like it's literally a glob on my fingernail. Like I have had people were like, what the fuck is your nail? I was like, yes, I've got my nails done.
Yeah.
This is years ago. I've probably got a photo somewhere. I might actually pull it out. It was absolutely hideous.
Yeah.
And it was like a glob.
Yeah.
But yours is not like that.
No, well, it's a thin, even though it's a thick product, it's a thin product, and I have a lot of control over it. And it's been a lot of trial and error. Don't get me wrong. There's been times where I've put too much on.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people are a bit fussy with not wanting to have it thick, but you do have to have an element of thickness to it for it to do what we want it to do.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
But we don't want it thick and chunky, and that's with those products. They are thicker products, and you can file them down so they're thinner.
Yeah.
But again, you need to find a private tech that uses good quality products.
Agreed.
For things like that. And look, gel's not for everyone. I've had people that have had gel and they've had to go back to SNS.
Right.
Or acrylic, because it's just not for everyone. And I've had people that have converted from either of those, and then they've decided that they either love it and they want to keep having it, or it's just not for them. You just have to find what's right.
Yeah, what's right for you.
Yeah.
Well, as I've said many times, I've been converted and I love them. Amazing. Anything, I mean, we've talked about nail care, we've talked about trends. Something just before we finish up, what is something that is just always going to be around with nails, do you think?
I think a really nice nude. You can never go wrong with a really nice nude. Everyone loves that. It goes with everything, especially when you're a bit indecisive and you don't know what you want.
Love a good nude.
And French
And
tip.
French.
Yeah.
When you're talking about French, it can be a number of colours on the tip now, right? Or are you just talking this classic nude with the white?
I think nude with white, that will always be in. You'll never see that go. I actually just did that on my toes this weekend.
Did you?
For the first time. And I'm undecided.
Polished?
I do. I feel very polished. But I have really long toes.
Oh.
So
Tell me more.
I sent some pictures to Aurora because I was like, do my toes look funny? Because I've just got this nude colour up that I have on my hands, and then I have just a white line on the end, and I feel like it's making my toes look
Longer,
and I'm not loving it. So I don't know. My big toes look great, but my other toes look a little bit.
Toes, I mean, feet are a funny thing anyway, aren't
that's
they?
why I don't do them.
I
don't even like doing my own feet. It took me probably a good 2.5 hours to do my toes yesterday.
Yeah.
I couldn't breathe.
No.
I was suffocating the whole time.
I think you've chosen well just to stick to the gel nails only.
Yep.
Just to finish up, what's your favourite thing to do on someone's nails?
I really love doing any detailed art. I am really loving micro art, so miniature things. And I get to do a lot more of that around Christmas time because I do a little mini wreath or a little mini pudding or a little mini tree. Cute. And I think I was talking to you about this and you were like, oh, I don't know. But I love those sorts of things.
Yeah, and you are so great at them. And it's surprising how small it is, but how clear.
Yes.
How well you kind of depict that each of those little things. It's very clever.
I'm my biggest critic, my own worst critic, but
We all are, I think, can't we? But when I look at yours, I'm like, oh, wow. On everyone else.
Sometimes I do things and I think, oh, that is just amazing. And then other times the person is obsessed with it and I'm just like, what have I done?
Yeah, you're like,
But that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm just too fussy. I just
give an example of that. What? They're totally stoked.
They love it. And I'm just like, I convince myself that I could have done better. It's major imposter syndrome.
We all have that.
100%.
We definitely all have that.
Me and my 2 other nail tech friends, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And how we just it's hard.
It's
I think there's just those little things that people don't realise.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think it's good too to be like, if your client walks away so happy, like just kind of reinforcing that, like they are stoked.
Yes.
So,
I'm always saying to myself, they're happy, and that's the most important
that's the main thing.
And they keep coming back to me, so I'm obviously doing something right.
Totally. You're doing it all right. You're doing it all right. Is there anything else we need to know about nails before we finish up today?
I don't think so. Just don't move.
Just don't move.
Just don't move.
Just sit still.
When I'm painting.
What about talking? Do you like talking?
I love talking.
What about
I love talking.
Yeah. Okay. But you get a bit of like, people might word vomit a few things.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't mind. I do it too.
Yeah.
But I think I often joke about having a little list on the wall of just, some extra services, therapy, and whatever else.
Counselling.
Sometimes I think I said to you one time, I was like, I feel like I should be paying you for me doing my nails, because I was just having a moment.
We were talking
and I was like,
business
oh my
stuff.
goodness.
It was good. That's my jam.
But I love a good chat.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's good.
Well, that's really all you can do too. It's either silence or chat.
And I don't mind silence either, honestly. Some people are not big talkers, and that's fine. If you don't feel like talking, don't talk. I'm not going to be offended. Sometimes I don't feel like talking.
That's right.
At the end of the day, I'm tired and I'm just, so I get it.
Happy to be, yeah. It's like when you go to a masseuse sometimes and they're like chatting to you and you're like, oh, I just want to lay here. Yeah.
I've had that, yeah.
So sometimes that's good to know. That's good for me to know too, that you don't always have to be chatty. You can just.
Yeah, I've got one client who brings her earphones.
Oh, wow.
And she just pops
Is that not rude?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. She just listens.
Yeah, like she'll still talk to me, like if I need to ask her something or, but she'll just say she's just listening to something or whatever, and that's fine. I don't mind, honestly. It allows me to concentrate, and it probably is actually better for me because I'm a big talker. So I think I get...
Well, and when you talk, you move too.
You move, and then I think sometimes you stop without realising you're stopping, and then the service goes for a little bit longer, and I feel I'm definitely guilty of that. So apologies.
Yes. I think it's like, and the reason why we wanted to get you on, because nails is all about, like, it is a self-care act.
It is.
It's giving yourself something that makes you feel really good. And I can definitely speak to that. Like, I, being, the nail biter that I was, I would feel embarrassed by my nails, to be honest.
Yep.
And I'd hide them away or whatever.
Yeah, lots of people feel like that. I went through a phase where I just didn't do my nails for a while because I just could not be bothered.
Yeah.
And now I, like I said, I taught Aurora so she could help me, and it's so much better.
Oh,
and I just do one hand and she does the other, and now I feel better.
You feel like done.
You do.
Or you feel a bit more, I don't know, I feel like a bit more put together, not even, and it's just for me. It's not for anybody else. I mean, many people comment on them because they are really beautiful, but, ultimately I choose to do it for me. And I think that's, we just wanted to share that with our listeners and be like, it's okay to go and do something for yourself and,
definitely.
And put yourself first.
Especially when it's hard times at the moment. I think it's really good to do something for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you are the best. Like, I love coming in. So if you can find yourself wherever you are in the world or Australia, find yourself a Tash, because it's just, it's so beautiful. So thank you for all that you do
pleasure.
for me and Steph. And we hope you have enjoyed the show. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are so grateful to have you listen each week, and we would love for you. I know many of you are on our socials, but please jump on and check us out on our socials. And if you'd like to, we haven't been very present on our Facebook page, but we would love to have you there. So our Instagram handle is the.selfishpodcast, and you can find us on Instagram as well, The Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph. But we can't wait to see you next week. Take care, look after yourself, and put yourself first. Ciao.